And the sentencing of Pethe Simiao, who has confessed to the murder of 6-year-old Amantle Samane, will now happen on the 1st of September. Pre-sentencing procedures wrapped up a few moments ago after her mother's made a victim impact statement. Little Amantle would have turned 7 today. We're live now to Zola, Sholwana. Zola, good afternoon to you. Very difficult testimony from Amantle's mother in court today.
Well, Stephen, we heard a postponement from today's court. You'd remember that earlier on we were anticipating the court to hand down judgment, but there were, conversations or information that had to be heard in court, and those were mitigating and aggravating factors from the state and the defense. So earlier on we heard the mother take the stand and, of course, sharing her statement and, contributing to aggravating factors that have been stated by the prosecution about the matter, where she mentioned how this has affected her, and not only herself but her entire household, all her children, especially those that were very close to little Amantle, have not been the same since the incident that we saw occur last year in October. She also did mention that this has led her to developing some sort of hate against, foreign nationals, as it is believed that the accused is a foreign national, and also suggesting or recommending to the court that they impose a very harsh sentence, towards him, essentially saying that the fact that her little girl is no longer alive should be enough for the court to impose a harsher sentence. But of course, the accused has not been sentenced at this particular moment. We know that on the 1st of October, that is where the court, following the consideration of all the statements that were read in court today, will then hand down judgment. A lot was expected from the defense, Stephen, where we heard Advocate Masindi essentially telling the court why he believes that there should be, in fact, he basically told the court mitigating factors, and some of those was the fact that the accused is a married man and he is a father to a toddler, and the prosecution then came to say all that information is not convincing, and also another thing that stood out in today's court was the fact that we heard the defense essentially saying that the accused at some point has shown remorse, claiming that he is the one that, informed a particular old man to call the police. Basically, he was implying that he handed himself over to the police. But the prosecution rubbished those claims, essentially saying that this person, the community went on a search for about 2 days before he was found. So basically, the statement that he is feeling remorseful at this point, therefore he should be given, or his sentence, or when he's granted a sentence that should be considered, is something that that remorse sentence is not something that should count. So we saw the family inside court, and also Amantle's father, who did not take, this well, as he thought that on his daughter's birthday, he will actually finally find a sense of comfort and a bit of closure, understanding that, Stephen, it's been quite a journey. The family has been coming into court with the support of community members since last year, October, and anticipating that a day of this kind will finally come. And when they thought that, judgment will finally be handed down, it was then postponed to a later date. But we are convinced that in the next appearance, we will find out, how many years the accused will be sentenced for. But we know that the prosecution has already mentioned that looking at the seriousness of these counts and the charges, there should definitely be a life imprisonment amongst those, charges that have been leveled against him.